Good afternoon, traders. How are we? Welcome to Simply Forex. Welcome to the live stream. Trader Tom here, and I am with you for the next 45 minutes or so. I don't know if that's lucky for you or unlucky. We shall find out. And guys, we are going to do, well, first of all, I hope you had a nice weekend because this is the first live stream of the week. So yeah, hope you had a nice weekend, guys. And didn't do anything that I wouldn't do. What did I do? Oh, yeah, it was Valentine's Day, right? It was Valentine's Day, so I all hope you went out with your better halves. I went out for a meal in the marina. It was quite nice. We had nice views of the marina at sunset. I know, very romantic. It was just me. No, I'm only joking. My better half was there. So yeah, hope you had a nice Valentine's. Hope you had a nice weekend. Today, we're going to focus on trading. That's why you're here. We will also discuss many things. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about football, maybe something else. Who knows? Because I'm doing the pub quiz tonight, like I do every Tuesday. I get very excited. Anyway, trading, that's what you're here for, guys. So we are going to look at new trades that I have gotten into this week. So there's two new trades that I want to share with you. Those of you that joined me for Thursday's live stream will know that I am in some Canadian dollar pairs still. And I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to do with that because we do have some big news coming out later. So yeah, we're going to do that as well, guys. And obviously, we're going to take as many of your questions as we can. So, literally, you can ask me whatever you like, right? Literally anything about trading. So if there's anything you need help with, or there's a currency pair you need help analyzing, or you're just interested in a certain topic to do with trading, then please leave a question and I will answer it. So there you go, guys. That is the plan of attack. Let me have a quick drink. I can drink out of this mug because Liverpool won 3-0 at the weekend in the FA Cup. Let's go to the economic calendar, right? Because we have had some pretty bleak figures coming out of the UK, right? And we have seen some weakness in the pound, right? Some initial weakness in the pound, right? So we've seen that today. And also the euro, guys, right? We haven't had good news coming out of the euro either. So we've seen a little bit of weakness there as well. And all of those Canadian dollar trades that I'm still in from last week, obviously we've got big news coming out of Canada, right? So these CPI figures are the main ones, guys, right? So I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to do to manage my trade when I'm in news. Sorry, guys, as I talk, I can feel biscuit come out of my mouth because I always eat biscuits before the live stream. So yeah, let's start by looking at the new trades that I've gotten into. So the first one is this, guys. It's euro pound, and I spoke about this in my weekly Forex forecast. So if you haven't seen that, guys, go check it out. Right, weekly Forex forecast. I post that every Saturday, and I share with you what I'm looking at. Now, if we look at euro pound on the weekly chart, right? So we was in this uptrend, right? We can clearly see we was in this uptrend, and now we're in this downtrend, stroke range a little bit, but we're definitely getting lower highs, right? And we're getting lower lows, but we're kind of ranging between here and here. Okay, so because we got this downward trend, I'm happy to sell from the top of the range back to the low. Okay, now if we go to the daily chart as well, right, you can see that again, if we just follow trend, we're basically here, right? This is basically where we're at, right? These highs in here are holding, and if they don't hold, my trade is wrong. Hence, my stop loss is in a place where I'm totally wrong, right? But I'm looking to potentially take price all the way back down to here because we are getting lower lows, right? So we're getting lower lows and all of these highs are holding, right? This resistance level. And apart from today, right? Today, you know, you have to bear in mind when I take this trade, this candle hasn't finished forming, right? This is a daily candle and it still hasn't finished forming, right? This could end up looking like this, right? It could end up looking like that, right? If it looks like that, contact your broker. Something's definitely wrong, right? But you get the idea that that candle hasn't finished forming. So I'm basing my decision on these candles. And these candles are telling me sellers are in control, right? If we drop to the H4 now, I have basically taken a trade at the top of the range. If we look at the H4, right, it was in this uptrend, and now we are, you know, in this range. This is exactly where we are. We're ranging from here to here. So as soon as price shot up, I saw this as a good opportunity, guys, right? I started, you know, Warren Buffett would have been proud of that entry, right? So I started entering here, stopped well out of the way. So if we zoom out a bit, right, you can see stops well out of the way, right? So even if it does break this level, right, I can still get out of this trade and not take the full hit, right? If price breaks these highs, I'm getting out of it. And, you know, if I got out there, that would probably be about a 0.6% loss, okay? But look, we've had a bearish reaction at these highs, right? I'm happy with this trade, and all I need to do is come back down to these lows to hit profit, but I will let some profit run, right? So that's euro pound. I'm in this trade, sells, right? And I also, that was today, and then yesterday I got into Aussie dollar yen sells. Okay, so again, if we go to the daily chart and try and understand, well, actually, let's start with the weekly, right? If we zoom out, again, this trade was in my weekly Forex forecast, guys. Go check it out every Saturday. You know, it's just a good way to tee yourself up for the week, right? If I do say so myself, right? But look, we're here, we're at this key resistance level. Look how price reacted last time, okay? It's a pretty good indication that that is a very good level, right? And at that level, we have had a weekly bearish engulfing candlestick pattern, right? Now, I do not care what the candlestick pattern is, but what you need to do as a trader, if you look at last week's candle and you asked yourself who's in control, right, you would say sellers, okay? And I would agree, right? So sellers are in control at a key resistant level, right? And, you know, what I'm doing here, guys, is, you know, looking at confluence. I'm looking at reasons to take a trade, right? That's your job. That's my job. That's what I do all day, every day. Occasionally pick my nose and read books, but other than that, I'm looking at candlesticks. And when I say read books, I don't read books. I watch series and go to the gym. Anyway, and on the daily, this is interesting as well, guys, because this is the last significant high, lower high, higher low. Get my teeth in, right? Higher low, higher highs, right? So that is the last significant higher low. And this candle only just, but the body of that candle broke that low. So we're now in a downtrend, okay? And then based on that, guys, right, we've got this really nice level here. If we go to the H4, right, you can see on the H4 as well, you know, we're clearly sort of staggered here, came down. We're here, right? We're still in this H4 downtrend. This level's holding, right? And again, it was a pretty nice entry, right? I started entering here, stops well out of the way, but I will manage this trade, right? I'll start putting, I could reduce the stop loss, even add to this position. And I'll do that if we break this low, right? So yeah, those are the trades that I am in, guys. And if you want my trade ideas, okay, then please come join the Discord. So first of all, join the free Discord. It's totally free. The link is in the video description. And then also, guys, I share my trade. So there's the Aussie dollar yen sell trade. You can see yesterday, 9 a.m. Dubai time, I got into that. And euro pound sells, I got into that at basically midday today. So yeah, come get involved, guys. Come join the Discord. Also, we got loads of other things in here. I cannot be bothered to explain them all because there's so many, but there's just so much value, guys. So please come join the free Discord channel. Also worth pointing out, in the free Discord channel, you are going to get this. Every Sunday, there is a live stream in the Discord channel. And it's basically one of our in-house traders sharing all of their levels that they are interested in that week. So go check it out. And also, guys, tomorrow you'll notice we haven't been doing live streams on a Wednesday. It's because on a Wednesday, tomorrow, I'm doing exclusive group mentorship sessions, right? And if you want to be part of that, guys, again, join the Discord channel. It's that simple. All right, guys. So yeah, there you go. That's everything I am in. Yeah, let's take let's take a few questions now. Let's say hello to a few people. Luigi, hi. Jeremy, hi. How are you? Jeremy, when I see at 79, I assume you were born in 79. Is my assumption correct? If that is true, you are a year younger than me. Niraj, hi. Fomaleko, pound Canadian dollar. All right, we'll take a look at that. Actually, that's a good point. I want to talk to you about that. Lee, hi. Lee's got a quick football question here. Tom, who's the better midfielder, Szoboszlai or Gerrard? Gerrard all day long. Gerrard was the man. Caroline wants to talk about Bitcoin. Okay, Caroline, we'll take a look at that as well. Dan the Gooner agrees. Gerrard all day long. Yeah, and Szoboszlai, when you say Szoboszlai, it sounds like you're drunk. You're like, I really like that Szoboszlai. I was like, Christ, he's been drinking. Lee's saying February is a bearish month. Okay, all right, interesting. Let's see. And Jeremy, I am correct. Okay. And Neil, okay, Neil is waxing lyrical about the VIP, so I have to share this. So the VIP Discord, I have felt strategyless for a long time. Joined the VIP, loved last week's VIP session. Think you found something which will work for me. That is why we created the bloody channel. So that is music to my ears. Right, let's go back. We're getting all sorts of questions, so this is good. But let's focus on a trading question. Let's have a look at pound Canadian dollar, right? Because I am selling this, right? This was a trade from last week, and it's coming down nicely. You can see it flirted with my stop loss, but we're okay. And again, I like sells, right? If we look at the day chart, it was respecting this trend line, right? Uptrend. I mean, this actually turned into a downtrend, but then bang, back into an uptrend, bang, we're in a downtrend, right? Yeah, we're getting lower lows, lower highs, right? If I join those up, right? We're in a downtrend, right? We're in a channel. That's what that is called. Technical term. You're welcome. Yeah, right. It's in a downtrend. Now, I'm already in this trade, Okay, now I got into this trade last week, right? You can see I got into it here on this day on the back of this big bearish candle, right? Now, I don't particularly like this trade for today or yesterday because of these bullish candles, right? But now we're seeing sellers come in, right? And this is exactly what I wanted to see. Now, if we drop down to the H4, you know, there was this trend line here, really. Okay, you can see it more on the H1, really. But look, we've broken out of that trend line as well. Let me show you on the H1. Right, you can see this, you know, this H1 level here is just clearly being respected. Who's that woman who trades trend lines? Can't remember her name. She always, every time I just see her everywhere. But yeah, she'll be proud of this one. Yeah, trend line break, right? Now, the thing is, right, and why, so this is looking good for sales, absolutely, for Meleco, right? Now, the problem here, well, not the problem, right? It could be a problem, it could be an opportunity, but we have got this coming out later. So we've got CPI data coming out of Canada. Now, obviously, this can greatly impact the Canadian dollar, right? It goes without saying. Now, you know, I will reduce my, depending where price is. If price is down here, I'm just going to reduce my stop loss a little bit, maybe into here, just give it a little bit of room. And then, you know, if the news is just crazily against us, then I'm not taking the full hit, right? I'll maybe take a 0.7%, right? Alternatively, you know, if price comes down and, you know, it could just fly down on the back of this news. Now, something I will definitely do is this. If before news comes out, right, and we've still got like an hour, over an hour before news does, if it comes down and hits this level, I will take some profit. I will maybe close 40% of my trade, then heavily reduce my stop loss to maybe even here, right? So it becomes almost like a, you know, a risk-free trade. Right, so yeah, I'm conscious of that CPI data coming, but generally speaking, I like Canadian dollar strength at the moment. Yeah, I also like I'm in Euro Canadian dollar sales as well. I'm just looking at all my trade ideas. I've got my great big bloody mic in the way. So yeah, I mean, all the trades I'm looking at today, guys, Aussie dollar yen, I'm in, Euro pound sales, I'm in, Euro CAD sales, I'm in. Pound US dollar sales, I'm in. Another one I like is New Zealand dollar US dollar sales. And I really like this if we break these lows, right? You can see price, the technical term is farting about, right? So price is farting about at this level, but if we get a break, I'm all over this, right? So yeah, there you go, guys. Right, there's all the trades I'm looking at and trades that I am currently in. Again, if you want all of my trades when I enter, come join the free Discord. Yeah, so I agree for Pello. I'm bearish on it as well. Right, we've got Caroline wants to look at Bitcoin. Okay, let's have a look at Bitcoin for all you kryptonites out there. Now, let's start with the weekly. Because with Bitcoin, you need to take the bigger view, right? It's so, you know, how can I phrase this, right? Obviously, all the currencies, everything is susceptible to fundamental and geopolitical news. But Bitcoin is very sensitive, right? It seems more sensitive than most other assets, right? The indices can be quite robust. There can be a lot of shit going on and those indices still tick up, right? There could be a lot of bad data coming out of the UK and the pound is still okay, right? But you get bad data related to Bitcoin, it is like, or right? Sound effects as well there. So just looking at it, right, from a technical point of view, we are clearly in a downtrend, right? And generally speaking, okay, if we break a key level of support, which we have in here, there's a very good opportunity, there's a very good chance that it will make it down to the next piece of support, right? So just looking at the weekly, I am bearish, right? Now, that doesn't mean I would sell here because things are a little bit overextended. I would still want to pull back, maybe back to that low, maybe our cloud starts coming down, right? I'll be interested in this level to sell, right? But right now, I would definitely not buy it here. And to sell it, I'd wait for a pullback to maybe here, right? But ultimately, I am bearish Bitcoin. Now, let's have a look at the daily. Let's get more information, right? Again, right? And clearly in a downtrend, right? This is where we're at. Now, do I want to start selling it in here? Probably not. Again, this cloud, guys, right? This is a very good measure of value, right? I want to see price pull back into that, right? And again, if you want this indicator, please come join the Discord. I'm tired of saying it. So yeah, this is a very good indicator of value, right? So if you're in a downtrend, right, which we get a downtrend here, pulls back to our river or our cloud, it's a good entry. It comes down again, it pulls back. Look at it, right? It is a very good place to look for sells. If we break above it, it becomes a good place to look for buys. We break below it, it's a good place for sells. I mean, look how price has respected it, right? But ultimately, we're in a downtrend. I'm still seeing more room to the downside. So I'm seeing Bitcoin sells, but we're not at an area of value, so I can't sell it. And I don't trade Bitcoin anyways. Like I say, it's too susceptible, it's too volatile. If I was to trade Bitcoin, it would be from an investment point of view, right? If Bitcoin, if we go back to the weekly, if Bitcoin started heading down towards here and this, 50,000, 55,000 level, then I think it would be a good buy from an investment point of view, right? Yeah, just hold on to it, right? But with regards to an intraday trade or even holding on to a trade for a few days, not interested in Bitcoin. So there you go, guys. Hope that helps, Caroline. Let me have a quick drink of my coffee. It's slightly cold now. Nothing worse than a cold coffee. And nothing worse than going in a coffee shop and they serve you a lukewarm coffee. I'm like, heat it up. Anyway, guys, if you're enjoying the analysis, you're enjoying the live stream, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash the like button. Please go check out the things above my head. So go check out our website if you want access to all of our premium trading education. Please come join our free Discord channel. It's free. Why the hell not? And also, guys, please come check out our Pepperstone promotion. We've partnered with them because they are a world-class broker. And if you sign up with them using our link, we'll give you access to the VIP and we'll give you a free Essential Trading View subscription. It's a no-brainer. Switch your broker or sign up for this broker today. Right, what else are we looking at? Okay, Dan Laguna. Yeah, Tory Trades, that's it. Tom, what's your favorite series? I love fantasy stuff. So I loved Game of Thrones and I love the new Lord of the Rings and all that. I really do love fantasy series, films. I love Lord of the Rings. You know, I'm a bit of a geek, really. I love Star Wars. I love sci-fi and fantasy. So there you go. I also liked, what did I like recently? Like Yellowstone. That was pretty good. Yeah, right. Tory trades. That's it. Honestly, that woman is everywhere. Okay. I don't know if this is an innuendo. Could slide into Tory's DMs now. Your trend line trading, Tom. Yes, my mind goes elsewhere. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so Jeremy, New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar is looking for sells. Before we do anything, can I just say thank you to Andrew? Andrew has supported the channel and become a YouTube member. So, Andrew, if you ever ask a question, we will answer your question first. There's also loads of other perks. And thank you for supporting the channel. If anyone else would like to do that, guys, it's only it's like 7 dirhams, which is like £1.20 English, right? So yeah, if you want to support, please do. Yeah, thank you, Andrew. New Zealand CAD, Jeremy. Okay, so let's have a look at New Zealand CAD. This is another sell trade I'm in. I'm in this sell, right? So yes, I like it for sells. Let's understand why. Again, let's start with the weekly, right? Now, the weekly, and again, guys, I don't mean to prattle on about the same things, but go check out my weekly Forex forecast. You will know exactly what I want to do with New Zealand CAD, but thank you for joining me on the live stream. We could also discuss it here. But weekly is in an uptrend, right? There's no two ways about that. It's in an uptrend, but it's very overextended. And we are at a key, right, resistance level. Okay. So if that's the case, I am interested in sells. If we go to the daily, we get a structure break. And we did, right? So New Zealand CAD, we was in an uptrend, right? Now, I'm going to show you something here, guys, right? Because you're probably thinking, Tom, is that a significant enough, higher low? And the answer is yes. Now, why is it yes? Because this candle right here, the body of the candle, which I highlighted, broke the top of that high. So that is a higher high. And when that happens, that is a continuation of trend, and it also validates that low. Okay, so that is why that low is significant. And then when we broke down this candle right here, the body of the candle broke that low, right? So that became a downtrend because we're getting lower lows, right? And I entered last week, right? But, you can see there's a level through here. Look at all these wicks, right? I really want that level to hold. I mean, my stop loss is really out of the way, but we want that level to hold. Because if we look at the H4, okay, right, looking good, right? We want this candle to stay as it is. There is a bit of a trend line here. Tory trades is going to bloody love me. She might even DM me. Who knows? She'll be like, Tom, do you want to come on? And I might do. Right. Anyway, focus, right? So we are, it's scruffy, right? It's scruffy, but we are in this uptrend, really, right? We're kind of here, right? We're in this uptrend, but this is that level that I'm talking about through here. Okay. Now I want to see a reaction at that level, obviously, because I'm selling it. Okay. But it is a good level, right? Now, I actually got in here. You can see where I entered. And it was a daily trade. But what I will do, firstly, if we start seeing sellers come into the market, great. Okay. And what I'd really like to see now is potentially like a breakdown of the trend line and that low. So you can see my alarm in there, right? Then if that happens, I will add to this trade. So I will reduce my stop loss to probably about there, and I will start adding what I reduce this by. I will add it to another sell in here once we get that breakdown, or if we get that breakdown. Okay, and then this will still be my target because it's back at these lows. But by adding to this position, I will make more than 1:1, right? My initial trade was 1:1. But if I reduce the stop loss, add to the position, this might end up looking like a 1:1.3 or something like that. So that's exactly what I'm going to do with New Zealand CAD. But if you're not in this trade, right, I would suggest waiting for a breakdown and a breakout of that trend line. Or you could take a very aggressive trade now, but just put your stop loss right out of the way, right? So yeah, New Zealand CAD, I am 100% behind it. Right, let me have a quick drink, guys. Right, we've got some more questions coming in, guys. Let's take a look. Caroline, you are very welcome. What do you think on Webull? Is it good price to buy now? I don't even know what Webull is. So this sounds like a lot of crypto stuff. If you give me the code, right, the ticker code, we'll take a look at it. Yeah. Antonio, Aussie dollar yen. Yep, I'm selling Aussie dollar yen. We looked at this at the start of the live stream, Antonio. So please go check that out. You can see my trade here. Started selling from here yesterday. Stops up here. Target down here. But again, I will add to this trade. If this does this, and then maybe we get a breakdown. I know I don't have a lot of room to move into, but if we get a pullback, I will heavily reduce my stop loss. Stops in here. I will add a sell in here if I get that pullback, and then look to take price back down to here. So my trades start as a 1:1 risk to reward, right? But how I manage them, I can increase my reward while reducing. Well, the risk stays the same because I'm adding to the position, right? So my risk will always be 1%, but I can increase my reward by managing a trade. And I think it's so important that you know how to manage a trade, right? I would say most people get the idea of an entry, right? You're in an uptrend, you get a nice pullback to an area of value, you start buying. But it's what you do when that trade goes in profit, or what that trade does, or what you do when that trade starts going against you. That's where I think good traders are made, right? I really do. So yeah, focus on managing trades, right? And you have a very strict plan, or you should do, about trade entries. You need an equally strict plan about managing trades. I will do, if XYZ happens, I will exit the trade early. If XYZ happens, I will add to the position, right? So yeah, again, guys, please check out the VIP, right? There's so many tutorials on managing trades, right? In fact, I'm going to show you right now. There are bloody hundreds of them, right? So let's go to all these. So these are all the VIP strategies and tutorials. And as you can see here, guys, managing trades, right? Yeah. So there's a vid, there's a vid, there's a vid, there's a vid. These are all tutorials that you will get within the VIP Discord, guys, right? You do have to put up with my ugly face quite a bit. But other than that, there's just so much goodness in there. So go check it out, guys. Yeah, okay. So yeah, obviously Max is saying be careful on entering Canadian dollar positions because we got CAD news up. So yeah, manage the position as I said. So guys, right, you know, you need to manage your trades, especially ahead of news as well, right? There's tutorials on that as well. Right, have we got any other questions here? Okay, so Jeremy's entered New Zealand CAD. Andrea or Andre. I don't know if it's Andre Alessi or Andrea Alessi. I don't know. But pound US dollar. I'm in this trade as well. Right. So, okay, this is on its way to target. Touch wood. I don't want to be too presumptuous. But yeah, I like this. So again, why do I like it? Well, weekly is in an uptrend, but we are at key resistance, right? And at that key resistance, we have had sellers enter the market. Okay. Again, that's not me, foretelling the future. That is me trading facts on a chart. Right? That's all I'm doing. I'm collating facts. I'm collating data and making informed decisions. Right? This nonsense where you enter a trade when the 9 moving average crosses the 20, tear it up, throw it away. Right? You've got to be able to read charts, right? And use the facts, the raw data, and make decisions, right? Excuse me. So we're in an uptrend, but selling pressure at this high. And also, a lot of the US dollar majors are at key weekly levels. This gives me confidence in US dollar strength as well, right? And that's the benefit of looking at multiple currency pairs as well. Not only multiple time frames, which is what I do every day and what I'm doing now, but looking at multiple currencies, right? It really gives me a macro overview of what's strong and what's not, right? So, if you just looked at euro, US dollar, pound, yen, and gold, right, you would have no idea what currencies are strong and what currencies aren't, right? Of course you wouldn't, right? I know you get these strength indicators and all of that, but they're all lagging, right? Now, by looking at 28 currency pairs, if I see Euro CAD is a sell, pound Canadian dollar is a sell, New Zealand dollar Canadian dollar is a sell, that confirms to me that Canadian dollar is strong, right? Ahead of time as well. Okay, so yeah, that's another reason why I look at 28 currency pairs. Also, the way I trade, right? I'm trading daily for direction plus weekly, and then generally entering on the H4. If I only traded 2 currency pairs, I would seldom have a trade, right? Maybe 2-3 trades a month. Whereas if I apply the same strategy, but across 28 currency pairs, then obviously I'm going to have a lot more setups, right? And on average, recently it's been a little bit crazy. I've been in sort of 5 or 6 trades at the same time, but generally it will equate to about a trade a day, right? And that's nice to manage, not too stressful. We like that. Anyway, right, back to pound US dollar. Yeah, we like it. And in here, guys, again, you're thinking, is that a significant enough low? Is that a significant enough high? And the answer is yes when we break it, it gives those levels strength, right? It gives them, it validates them. Strength's not the right word. It validates them, right? And now we've come back up. As long as we don't break these highs or those highs, my stop loss was well out of the way, right? We like this trade, right? We're getting lower highs, lower lows, right? And so far, this trade's coming down nicely, okay? And I'm only going to take it to the next piece of support, right? And again, guys, right, that should always be your target, right? You know, if you're selling, aim for the next piece of support, right? Because by the very definition, a support level is a level of buyers, right? Otherwise, it would be crap support, right? And if you're buying, the next resistance level should be your target. Because if price is going up, to create resistance, you're going to see a lot of sellers. So don't think of support and resistance as support and resistance. Think of them as buying or selling levels. So I want to take profit at those levels. Okay. So, you know, this is going to be my target, right? And I'll take profit. Now, I won't be interested in selling into that again, but wait for the market to tell you. Now, if you've got a break at that level, bang, you're interested again. You can potentially take it all the way down to here, get a retrace, take it lower, right? So, yeah, just wait for the market. The market tells you everything you need to know. It tells you where to trade from, where to trade to. It gives you the trend. It tells you who's in control with candlesticks. It shows you where value is, right? Well, you know where value is, right? You know, like all the information's there. Don't overcomplicate it by putting 14 indicators on your screen, or I don't know, you know, just keep it simple, right? Very, you know, I don't get, what's the right word? I'm passionate about passing that on to people, because human nature is you just want to overcomplicate everything, right? You know, you think you can, you know, let's say you just traded price action, and over the month you made 3%. Your brain goes, I want 6%, right? So then you start adding crap to what was a very nice strategy, 3% a month, by the way. If you did that, you know, all year, every year, you'd be laughing, plus compounding, right? But your brain says that's not enough, I want 6%. And then you balls it all up, right? You start adding indicators or trying to make it better or get more profit out of it. And then before you know, the strategy you had that was tip top, making you 3% a month, is now crap because you've totally changed it. So don't be that person, right? Get something simple, get some consistency, and stick with it, right? If you want to go from 3% a month to 6%, don't think about trading your strategy. Don't think about changing your strategy. Think about changing your risk, right? So, you know, for example, if I trade 1% and that equates to 3% a month on average, right? Then I could just increase my risk to 2%, and that would be 6% a month, right? And 2% risk isn't crazy, right? So think of it in those terms. Don't keep trying to change and tinker with your strategy to get more out of it. You don't need more out of it. What you need from a strategy is consistent profits. And if it gives you that, increase risk or increase your capital. There you go. Right. Okay. Max agrees. Dynamic management is key. Yeah, but it needs to be predefined. Yeah, you need to have a strategy for your trade management. Tom, I'm having a horrible February in the market. Beshu, you're going to have a horrible month. You just are, right? Okay, Andre, glad we cleared that up. I never know, Andre. And Portugal, I am thinking of moving to Portugal in a couple of years. There you go. And guys, we have run out of time. We've got more questions coming in, guys. Nero, I like your question. Broder, how are you, mate? Yeah, break of structure is the best indicator. Totally agree, right? So, guys, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate you joining me. Please don't forget, tomorrow now is a live stream, but in the Discord, right? Not on YouTube. And then I'm back on YouTube, same time as today on Thursday. This is going to be the new schedule, guys. All right. So yeah, come join the Discord. Go check it out. All right. Have a great rest of your trading day, guys, and I'll see you later.